Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have my Hermione tank top on. I have my Gryffindor scarf because today we are talking about my top 5 reads that I have for the Gryffindor house. So these are 5 books that I choose based off of the traits of each of the Hogwarts houses, starting with Gryffindor. So the traits for Gryffindor, as you all probably are very well aware, are bravery, courage, determination, nerve, daring, and chivalry. So here are 5 books that I think fully embody those traits in the Gryffindor house. Starting with the book How to Walk Away by Catherine Center. This is a contemporary drama where we follow our main character who is in a plane accident with her boyfriend. Her boyfriend comes out of it unscathed, and she unfortunately becomes paralyzed from her hips down. And she is basically throughout this book kind of forcing her way through a very tough recovery physically, but also emotionally as well. So she's really not only kind of trying to fight the paralysis, but she's also coming into herself as well, and becoming more confident as herself. And I think that this book fully embodies the Gryffindor house because of our main character, who displays so much bravery and determination through her recovery. And she also has a ton of nerve throughout the recovery. I'm not going to give away too much here, but she does some things that really make her come into her own and make her more independent as a human being. And I thought it was just such a great book that focused not only on a physical recovery, but also an emotional one, and very much a finding yourself kind of book. So I think that this book is perfect for the Gryffindor house because it definitely has a main character that embodies those traits. Next book I have is Room by Emma Donoghue. This is an incredible story about a mother and a son. The mother was kidnapped as a teenager and has been in captivity for years, and had during her captivity this son with her captor. And that son is now 5 years old when we start this book, and all he's ever known in the world is this one room shed that they have been kept captive in. And so this is the story about a mother's perseverance and determination to break out and have her son have a great life and make sure that he knows the rest of the world and he can see it. And so I just think that this is, again, perfect for the Gryffindor house because of those traits of bravery and determination. I think our main character, Ma, has both of those traits, if not all of the Gryffindor traits. So if you're looking for a hard-hitting contemporary that just pulls at the heartstrings and has you inspired to just be a better person and be a braver person, then I think this book is perfect. Next book I have is one of my favorite books of all time, and that is going to be The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. So I have never read about 2 stronger, braver females than I have in this book. This book contains 2 of the most courageous women I've ever read about in fiction. So I think that this goes without saying that this is definitely a Gryffindor type of book because the themes in it are very much determination and courage. And if you don't know what this is about, it's a World War II historical fiction following 2 sisters in France that are leading very different fights to survive during the war and have to go through a lot of struggles to survive. And it's just an incredible tale of bravery, and I couldn't think of a better Gryffindor book, really. I really couldn't. It's incredible. The second to last book that I have to share that I think embodies the Gryffindor house is The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson, which is an epic adult fantasy book. And it follows kind of 3 main characters who I think are incredible Gryffindors: Dalinar, Kaladin, and Shallan. I hope that's how you pronounce their names. If it's not, I'm sorry. That's how I pronounce them in my head. So this book is really hard to explain because it is, again, an epic fantasy book with a lot of different moving pieces. But the reason I chose it for Gryffindor is because of those three main characters. I think that their determination that they show, their courage that they have, even in the face of what seems to be the most bleak circumstances, is incredible to witness. You absolutely root for all three of them. They're incredible fantasy characters, and I can't do a Gryffindor video without mentioning them. So if you're looking for an adult epic fantasy that is just going to take your breath away with how incredible it is, not only in its world building and its magic systems, but its characters, then I highly recommend The Way of Kings. The fifth and final book that I have for the Gryffindor house is going to be Illuminati by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This is a young adult sci-fi book that is told in a unique format where it's not written in a typical novel type of format. It's told through files and chats and all of these different like surveillance videos. It's very cool, and I loved the reading experience, but the reason I chose it for Gryffindor is because of our main character Katie in this book, who goes through a lot. If you've read this book, you know what I'm talking about. She goes through a lot of stuff in this book that I don't think a normal human being could take without going absolutely insane. But the reason I chose her for Gryffindor is because how she goes through all of those struggles in this book is incredibly brave and determined, and she's got so much nerve, and I think Katie truly embodies the Gryffindor house. I loved reading about her. I loved how strong she was, and even when she showed vulnerability, I just loved her for it, and it made her even more brave for taking on these circumstances, even at her most vulnerable. So I loved this book. I highly recommend it to anyone who's looking for a new sci-fi novel. And if you're looking for a brave character who has a lot of determination and a lot of nerve, this is the book for you. So those are the 5 books I've picked out for the Gryffindor house that I think fully embody those traits that I talked about before. So what do you think? Do you agree with any of these books? Would you classify them in a different house? And then what are some other Gryffindor books that you would recommend to others? I'd love to know, so leave your comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I release new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And until next time, bye!